Alright family, welcome back to TNH ADV. In this episode we're going to be driving from our place in Metcalfe, Ontario to Montreal, Quebec, and staying 2 nights there just for the weekend, and you're about to see what we saw at Montreal. Alright, right now we're driving through the town of Russell, Ontario, which Holly obviously got a great kick out of. Russell this, Russell that, Russell everything. When you enter into Quebec, there's a big sign that says maximum 100, minimum 60. And sure enough, 10 seconds later, this big old Cadillac boat pulls out in front of me, going like 65 at the maximum. Alright, so we're just about to pull up to our hotel room here on Sherbrooke Street, which is quite familiar from being from Winnipeg. It's right across the street from Mount Royal. We can see it from our hotel room. And Sherbrooke Street in Montreal is kind of like a swanky, like art district. So that was kind of a step up from Sherbrooke Street. Alright, so the next morning we're going to wake up, we're going to walk down the street just a few blocks and go to the Montreal Museum of Fine Art. Right away, once you just get outside the building, there's a giant blown glass sculpture with crazy shapes, probably like 15 feet in diameter. Really cool. So this museum was pretty interesting in the fact that from the surface it was 3 different buildings, but as you enter, each of the buildings were connected through tunnels underneath, and you'd pop up on the next building over and you kind of look over, hey, we used to be over there. So that was kind of fun. Alright, this is definitely my favorite art gallery that we've been to on our trip so far. Lots of contemporary art, cool colors, everything from sculptures to paintings to like snowmobiles being hung from the rafters. Lots of cool stuff to see, and cool native carvings and masks. So this next painting is pretty funny. It's from one of the same guys we saw before, but it's like a war on beavers. There's like people murdering beavers, native guy hitting with a tomahawk, there's beavers going up into heaven. If you look way in the background, there's like a floating beaver prison. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. So as Holly and I are leaving the gift shop, we see a big group of people from inside the gift shops looking out, marching past with Trump signs and banners and all sort of stuff. But it turns out they were protesting the vaccination passport mandate, which was coming into effect in Quebec shortly. And we followed these people down the street as we were going to a sub shop that was down there, Schwartz's. So I had no idea I was going to capture this footage just by sticking the GoPro to the window for the day while we were out, but it turned out pretty cool. Alright, so the next day, Holly and I decided to go to a lookout at Mount Royal Park before our appointment to head to the Montreal Biodome at Olympic Stadium or Olympic Park. And then after Olympic Park, we're going to walk across the street to the Botanical Garden. Lots of walking. After 25,000 steps yesterday, I can barely keep myself together. So we enter the Biodome, and the first exhibit is the polar exhibit. And what was really cool is, I forgot to take a picture, but you walk through a whole tunnel that was all covered in ice. And yeah, it was ice, and they kept it cool on purpose inside of the building. It was kind of crazy. So the Biodome was pretty similar to when I first saw it in grade 9. But they gave it a pretty good facelift. It still had all the cool exhibits, the polar or the tundra exhibits, the tropical exhibit, the Gulf of St. Lawrence exhibit, and then another one like the general forest exhibit. It was pretty cool. Lots of animals. and very humid in the tropical exhibit. Check out these huge sturgeon that are coming up. How'd you like to catch one of them? They're huge. So next, after leaving the Biodome, Holly and I walk around the Olympic Park, up and over a bridge, and back to the other side. But that was pretty difficult because they had all the signs kind of stored away, and some were pointing this way and some were pointing backward. So after about 40,000 steps or more for the entire weekend, just like me, this video is done.